In this video, I'm going to be discussing how to solve rational equations. Now, the key to solving rational equations is going to be finding the least common denominator. All right, so you may want to review my video on least common multiples and least common denominators if what I mean by that is unclear to you. So as an example, let's do x over 4 minus 2 equals x over 2 plus 1/2. Now, let's be clear. What's annoying about this equation is the abundance of fractions. All right? What I like to do is get rid of my problems as fast as possible. I like to get rid of the fractions, turn them into a lot easier, friendlier numbers, so to speak. Okay? And the way to do that is to multiply both sides by the least common denominator. All right? Looking at the three denominators, I'll go ahead and circle them. You should be able to see that the least common denominator is 4. So therefore, I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. And we know from algebra that we are allowed to multiply both sides by the same thing. Okay, and now I'm going to distribute the 4 into the binomial. So 4 times x over 4 gives x, and then 4 times minus 2 gives minus 8. And then 4 times x over 2 gives 2x. And then 1/2 times 4 gives 2. Look at that. I got rid of all the fractions. Okay, I much prefer doing solving this new version to the original version. So this is what I'll always do when I see too many fractions. And then now we can go ahead and solve this the typical way. Subtract x from both sides, subtract 2 from both sides, and so we quickly get that x is equal to minus 10. You can go ahead and plug in minus 10 into the original equation to see that indeed it does satisfy it. Okay? So again, everything revolves around the least common denominator. Now, let me have you do an example that has variables in the denominator. 1 over x plus 1/3 equals 3 over 2x minus 1. All right, so go ahead and try to solve that one. Pause the video if you have to. Okay, so first I'm going to analyze the denominators. And so the least common denominator, well, first focusing on the numbers 2 and 3, that'll give me a 6. Then the x's will give me an x, so 6x is what I want to use. So let me multiply both sides by 6x. And now let me distribute the 6x. 6x times 1 over x gives 6. 6x times 1/3 gives 2x. Let's do the other side now. 3 over 2x times 6x gives 9. You can work that out if you can't see that in your head. And then 6x times minus 1 gives minus 6x. All right. Now I just love how much nicer the new version looks like. All right, so then we solve that the normal way. Rearranging things, and so 8x equals 3, so x is 3 over 8. Go ahead and plug that into the original equation. You will see that that is indeed, that number indeed satisfies the original equation. Okay, and so let's finish with a slightly more complicated exercise. So can you solve this one? X over x plus 2 equals 3 over x plus 4 over x times x plus 2. All right, work on that one. Again, pause the video if you like. And now I'll go ahead and work it out now. So the reason I did this was to show you that binomials can be part of a least common denominator. Okay, so the denominator is x plus 2, x, and then the other one x times x plus 2. So the least common denominator of all of those is x times x plus 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by x times x plus 2. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and distribute. And so I get x squared on the left side, and on the right side I get 3 times x plus 2, and then I get just 4. Now let me distribute the product I have there. 3x plus 6 plus 4. So moving things around, x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. Factoring that, I get x minus 5 times x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals 5 or x equals minus 2. Now, pause the video if you have to, but I'd like you to do the suggestion that I've been offering. Plug in both of these candidate solutions into the original equation. All right, and see what both sides of the equation evaluate to. All right? So do that now, please. Okay, so if you plugged in the 5, you should have got on both sides 25 over 35. Okay, yes, on the left side you'll get 5 over 7, but that's equivalent to 25 over 35. All right, so 5 is indeed an answer. All right, now if you plug in minus 2, can you see that you're going to have problems because the last denominator, you're going to be divided by 0, which is not allowed? Okay, so we're going to throw that out. So the only solution, therefore, is x equal to 5. Okay, so please, please, please remember this. You have to check your solutions. It's not just a suggestion, but you can literally have, you can literally include answers that you shouldn't if you don't check your answers. Okay, we want to only include answers that are part of the domain. So in this case, only 5, and we had to throw one out. So please remember that.